Welcome back, everyone. I am Zadie, and this is Kerbal Space Program. And today, people, oh my lord, it is time. It is time. We sending someone to the moon. We sending Jeb to the moon today. So we're retrofitting one of our rockets that we had earlier set up. Before we get started, I would like to say thank you so much, guys, for your support. It's been absolutely amazing. Oh my god. You people killed it last month. I got my monthly... Good lord, I went redneck for a second. I got my monthly report from YouTube. I had 4 uploads. I had gained 18 subscribers in the month of August, 23 comments, 45 likes, 7 shares, which is just amazing, guys. Hitting that share button, you know I love it. You know I love you guys. This is the kicker, though. 3,192 hours watched. 3,192 hours watched on 4 videos. That is 53.2 hours. I'm sorry, 3,192 minutes watched on 4 videos. That's 53.2 hours watched. You guys are awesome. Can't say enough to everyone. Thank you so much. Okay, now I'm done kissing your ass for right now. Calm it down. I'll bring you back to it in a second. Today we are retrofitting this rocket. As you can see, I've got everything sped up. Obviously, it's post commentary. We're gonna try get to the moon. I'm testing out these new little rockets. I think they're gonna be enough to get us into orbit. And save enough fuel to get the larger part to get us into orbit, and then the smaller part will be able to take us to the moon. I'm pretty positive the bottom part will be able to take us to the moon, although it does have an extra heavy load on there with life support and battery and the Science Junior. So this is what happens when you kind of piece stuff together like I do. That being said, though, we're gonna shoot for the moon. We're going to name this one the Gigamut 11B. That's right, buddy. I told you I had something coming for you. This is it. The rocket that is going to take a Kerbal to the moon is going to be named after you. So, I, again, appreciate your support. You are awesome in the comments section. I love talking to you. Can't wait to see your reaction from this one. Hopefully, you're not too disappointed. I hope you like it. And let's do this thing. Brand new rocket, kind of retrofitted with these small... solid state rockets on the side. It's an experiment. It's an experiment that could kill Jeb, or it's an experiment that could take us to the moon successfully. However, you know, well, you'll see what happens here in a little bit. I already know what happens. I already know what happens. I don't want to spoil it for you. I don't think those rockets are going to be efficient enough. We didn't get very much. We only got about 3 kilometers into the air before they ran out. That's not very good. It's not looking good so far. Also having trouble tilting this thing over for some reason. It could use a little more work. I think we're going to have to put something more powerful on there in order to get us up there quicker and save more fuel. And I hope that's my launch bay not blowing up. It did not. That is good. It's one of the reasons why you want to turn over so quickly once you get off the launch pad, so when you jettison something like a solid rocket booster, it doesn't crash down into your launch pad. Because if you go straight up, think of it in terms of what goes up must come down. If you go straight up and you jettison like fuel and, you know, rocket parts, it's coming down on your space center. You don't want that. You don't want it coming down on your space center. So that was bad on me. Here we go again, blindly going towards the moon. Again, I've got a lot of practice in it. I feel very confident getting to the moon nowadays. A little cockiness in there, not gonna lie. The keen eye will be watching the fuel gauge, and you will notice that we are quickly running out of fuel. This thing is not going to make it to the moon. As a matter of fact, I wasn't watching it carefully enough and just stopped it as things almost got catastrophic. So we're not making it to the moon. That is unfortunate. I did make it to apoapse in order to bring the periapse back within the atmosphere. However, see that little white ring there? That means we're going to pass through the atmosphere, and we're not going to slow down enough to be captured by Kerbal. So this is that first pass after coming back around. I'm going to show it in completion. The reason why I have it, and you can see there's the second ring, so it doesn't even look like we're going to get in off of the second pass through. So two things are very important at this point for me and to keep Jebediah alive. One, I've got life support. In the capsule alone, he's got a day of life support, roughly. The life support that I added gives him days, like 100-something days. I know it's a little overkill. I could tone it down and save weight on it, but better safe than sorry in case he gets stranded out in space and I need to come rescue him. The other thing is you don't want the power to run out, because if the power runs out, then you can't open the parachute. So the battery has the battery in the capsule has to stay charged when you come through the atmosphere, or there won't be a battery to deploy your parachute. If the parachute can't be deployed when you're coming back in through the atmosphere, guess what? Jebediah dies. So we've got kind of a Apollo 11 situation going here, where we're going to have to coast in and out of Kerbal atmosphere and slow down enough until we eventually come back in safely. The problem is that you can see right there on the heat with the temperatures and stuff that the engine's very close to blowing up. And not only is the engine very close to blowing up, the solar panels around the outside of that are also very close to blowing up and just being destroyed. Not as much as the engine, but they're very close. They're a lot closer than I would like. And as you see, we're starting to ascend again, so that heat's going to dissipate here in a little bit when we get above 60 kilometers, which takes us back into the high atmosphere and then into space. So my concern is not that if we make it through this pass, will it be okay? But it's also that we've got at minimum one more pass to go through, and even more than that following it. So the damage acquired over time to these pieces scares the ever-loving hell out of me. As you can see right there, everything is like glowing red hot because we just came through the atmosphere with all that friction. We're lucky we didn't lose any of the solar panels. The solar panels are lifeblood right now, because if they get destroyed and we run out of battery power, Jeb's life support goes offline. He dies. So it's a very dire situation that I've put myself into by not being smart enough to read a gas gauge. Had I just sat there and read the damn gas gauge, this wouldn't be an issue. I would have put him right back on the ground on the first pass. We could have launched another rocket and put that in this episode as well. But no, my stupidity, which I want to show you my stupidity, has led us to this point to where we're having to bounce in and out of Kerbal's atmosphere in order to get Jebediah back safely. And then this is the second pass through. So again, we've accumulated damage. We are going to have to go through the same thing all over again. And we're going to have to go through it several times. And I'll go ahead and tell you how many times it was total in order to get Jebediah back safely, because this is the last burn through that I'm going to show you. That's just simply because it's the same thing over and over again for the next 30 minutes. And it's a nail-biting experience. Like, I'm trying my best not to lose Kerbals here, and I do something stupid as not look at a gas gauge. I mean, that's just irresponsible and dumb on my part. And, you know, I want you guys to see my failures too, because I'm not perfect at this game. And part of the fun about this game is not being perfect. If you were perfect on everything, you would just be MechJeb. And there's no fun in being MechJeb, because MechJeb is not a challenge. MechJeb, you type in the stuff, it goes up there, it does, it puts it in perfect orbit. Now, sometimes that is okay to do, especially when you're trying to do like a specific satellite orientation. Like say I want to put geosynchronous satellites over Kerbal for coverage. I could do that with MechJeb, and it would be perfect, and they would never encroach on each other and stuff like that. That's fine, but stuff like this, I think, you know, had I been able to run the numbers myself and be able to do the math to where I can say, okay, there's not enough delta V to get me to the moon, I could have aborted this a long time ago. Yeah, that's, you know, that makes me a smart individual. I'm not, though. I just really made myself sound stupid. I'm not good at the math. So a lot of my stuff is trial and error, and there will actually be a lot of rockets that I build that are complete overkill because of that alone. I want to try and, you know, run this like I'm seriously concerned with my Kerbals and doing my best not to lose them. Now, am I going to lose some? Hell yeah, I'm going to lose some. I've already lost Valentina on something stupid. But that's the way you learn. And, you know, it's like terrible to say that, but that's the way you learn, is you learn by failures. And I think that's important for people to know and understand, that succeeding every day and every time is not what life is about. Life is about failing and overcoming those failures, and this is a great example of that, which is why I'm making this episode. I'm very passionate about it. So what I'm going to do now is we're going to go ahead and cut ahead. I did go through the atmosphere about a total of 6 times. This is the 7th, and this is the 7th and final one that is going to bring us back in. We were fortunate enough not to lose any of the solar panels, not to lose the engine, not to lose anything, actually, and be able to bring this bad boy back in and keep Jebediah alive. This is it's a failing success. The only thing is I didn't pull the science out that I'd captured, so I lost all the science because I was so concerned with getting Jeb back down to Kerbal that I didn't even remember to get the damn science. So it was kind of a wasted trip, but at the same time, it taught us a lot. And that's what makes this game fun. Again, I love this game, and it is about your triumphs, and it is about your failures. And I'm a firm believer, and I will teach my daughter this too, that the reason that we fall is so we can pick ourselves back up again. Today in this episode, I fell, and to the next week when I put out the next episode, I will pick myself back up again and make what was bad good. And that's Zadian's life advice. I'm feeling very sentimental right now. My wife and kids are out of town, so they've been out of town for a few days. They're at a family reunion up in West Virginia, and I'm missing them. So if I sound a little sappy at sometimes, it's because I'm missing my family right now, which is, I guess, a good thing. Anyways, enough of that corny shit. Here we go. We got Jeb back in. The heat is starting to dissipate. We're going to be okay. Jeb's going to make it back in just fine. We're going to rebuild and make this platform better. We are going to get to the moon. This is a little bit of a shorter episode, guys, and I apologize for that, but I had a lot planned for it and didn't succeed in any of that stuff, so you guys are just going to have to wait a little bit. I'm going to do my best to try and get episode 11 out there a little bit earlier than normal, because this is a very short episode and nothing really happens in it. You're basically just listening to me vlog for 14 minutes, and I hope you enjoy it. Give you a little insight into how I think and who I am, and as my audience grows, I want to grow with you, and, you know, again, there we go, sentimental. Anyways, guys, as you can hear in the background, the music's starting to queue up. That means we're getting to the end of our episode. Quickly, I would like to shout out Jolly Roger Aerospace. He is a very cool dude. Watch his videos, go to his channel, subscribe. I've already got a couple, at least one person's gone over there and done it. But yeah, he's a really, really cool dude, and has been giving me shout outs and stuff, and I can't thank you enough, Jolly Roger. Thank you very much, sir. I really appreciate it. Guys, I hope you enjoyed the episode. If you did, if you could hit that like button, that subscribe button, and that share button, you know it always means a lot to me, and I'd appreciate it. You guys have a good afternoon, evening, good morning, or good night. I've completely screwed up my ending. Anyways, guys, we'll see you next time for more Redneck Space Program.